Hey, Shalom, Shalom. Call hello Yahweh by Hashem Yahushua by Hashem Dash. Double honors to your apostles and elders, a great millstone, and salutation to you brothers that's pushing this word in truth and sincerity. Okay? So the title of this video is, brothers, don't forget about Leviticus, the 26th chapter. Because, when we out on the highways and hedges, we bait our people in, okay? Basically giving them the scripture or the curses in Deuteronomy 28th chapter, which fits us to a T. But what you can do is you can land back off of Leviticus the 26th chapter, because when you read that, it puts a greater perspective on Deuteronomy 28th chapter. So I'm just going to do a quick video. This is Deuteronomy 28th chapter. And when we go into it, we would read it like this. We would go into Deuteronomy 28th chapter. And it says, "And it shall come to pass, if thou shalt hearken diligently unto the voice of the Lord thy power, to observe and to do all his commandments, which I command thee this day, that the Lord thy power will set thee on high above all nations of the earth." And this was Moses speaking to the children of Israel in the wilderness. Okay, so Moses was given the command to speak unto the children of Israel. The other nations weren't there. The Edomites, they're not included. The Amalekites. Okay, you got to remember that the Amalekites, they're the ones that they killed the feeble. Okay, amongst the Israelites, they smite the hindmost. All right. And they have a judgment for that, which those Amalekites today, well, you would call them the so-called Jew, or he would be you would call him a Jew, which he's nothing but an Edomite. Okay, I believe he's nothing but an Edomite. All right, of the tribe of Amalek, which is one of the sons of Esau. All right, and it says, "And all these blessings shall come on thee and overtake thee, if thou shalt hearken unto the voice of the Lord thy power." So, we didn't hearken unto the Lord our power. So that's why we're not high above all the nations right now, but we will be. All right, so then you usually skip down to, I believe, the 15th chapter, where it says, "But it shall come to pass, if thou will not hearken unto the voice of the Lord thy power." So you basically got the blessings. Okay, if you did hearken, you'd be above all the nations. But it goes in verse 15. It says, "But it shall come to pass, if thou will not hearken unto the voice of the Lord thy power, to observe and to do all his commandments and the statutes which I command thee this day, that all these curses shall come upon thee and overtake thee." So we see these curses, and you go down Deuteronomy to 16 and on down. Okay, and I'm gonna come back to the curses. All right, but this is Leviticus 26:1. It said, "Ye shall make you no idols, no graven images, neither rear you up a standing image, neither shall ye set up any image of stone in your land to bow down unto it, for I am the Lord your power." Now these are some things that we did not follow. That's what got us kicked out the land. That's what got us cursed. Okay, got the curses put upon us. The Lord commanded us to keep his Sabbath, reverence his sanctuary. All right, walk after his statutes, keep his commandments. Okay, then we would get rain in due season. The land would yield her increase. That's when we was over there in the land of Israel, dark-skinned people. Okay, your threshing shall reach unto the vintage, and your vintage shall reach unto the sowing. Meaning we will have a full harvest, abundance. It said, "Ye shall eat your bread to the full and dwell in your land safely." Meaning all the enemy wasn't going to come up against us. We were going to eat all our harvest. So these are some of the blessings, and these are some of the blessings that we're going to get back. It says, "I will give thee peace in the land, and ye shall lie down, and none shall make you afraid." Okay, that's part of the blessing, that none of us going to make us afraid. We going to have peace in the land. I will rid evil beasts. So the animals. It said, I will rid evil beasts out of the land. Neither shall the sword go through your land. Neither shall the sword go through our land. Okay, so these are part of the blessings. The sword wouldn't go through our land. We'd have a complete harvest. Okay, we receive a yield. Ye shall chase your enemies, and they shall fall before you by the sword. So these are the blessings. This is what we're going to receive. This is what Esau is afraid of. These blessings that we're going to receive. But then you go down. Let me read right. Let me start right at verse 10. It says, and ye shall eat old store and bring forth the old because of the new. And I will set my tabernacle among you, and my soul shall not abhor you. So the Lord is going to set his tabernacle among us. And his soul is not going to abhor us. Why did the Lord's soul abhor us? Because we're going off as a people. All right, but this is the blessings that we're going to receive. It says, I the Lord your power, which brought you forth out of the land of Egypt. Now we're the children, the so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans. We came up out of the land of Egypt, the land of Ham, okay, where there were other dark-skinned people there, okay, they were not Israelites, they were Hamites, okay, and the Lord brought us up out of that land, that ye should not be their bondmen, and I have broken the bands of your yoke. Okay, so the Lord had us under the Egyptians, another dark-skinned race, another dark-skinned nation, as bondmen. Okay, now fast forward to Egypt today. Where are we? We're bondmen. Okay, over here is bondmen and bondwomen. Okay, and that word for bondman is abad, slave, a servant. Okay, a subject. Okay, are not the so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans subject? Okay, some of them are subject to the state when they get locked up. Okay, and I have broken the bands of your yoke. So when the Lord delivered us out of Egypt, he broke the bands of our yoke. Okay, and the Lord is getting ready to break the bands of our yoke again. Okay, and it says it made you go upright. And the Lord is going to make us go upright again. Now let's go to Genesis 27:40. It says, and by thy sword. Now this is the blessing, okay, of Esau. Because remember, Isaac gave Esau a blessing because he sought after it with tears. Okay, after he sold his birthright. And he realized that he wasn't going to get the blessings that Jacob is going to receive. And we read some of the blessings in Deuteronomy 26 chapter. Okay, we're going to get an increase. We're going to eat the fruit of our land. And we're not going to be afraid. We're going to have peace. Okay. Now I'm going to go back down to Leviticus 16 after I read Genesis 27. It says, and Isaac, Genesis 27:39, it says, and Isaac his father answered and said unto him, behold, thy dwelling shall be the fatness of the earth and of the dew of heaven from above. So this is the blessing of Esau. And by thy sword shalt thou live. And hasn't Esau lived by the sword? Okay, in these times, all right. Yeah, and does not he have the fatness of the earth? So Esau is in his blessing right now. And by thy sword shalt thou live, and shalt serve thy brother. And it shall come to pass when thou shalt have the dominion. So Esau has the dominion over the earth now. That's why it says, by thy sword shalt thou live, and shalt thou serve thy brother. So while Esau was in his early stages, okay, he served his brother with the sword. He lived with the sword. Okay, he served his brother with the sword. Who was his brother? So-called Negroes, Latinos, Native Americans, the true Israelites. All right, he served us with the sword, and it shall come to pass when thou shalt have the dominion. So he has the dominion now. Okay, all the earth is in his hands. Okay, he has the rulership, and now he's about to implement his chip, or his mark. Okay, but it says, when thou shalt have dominion, that thou shalt break his yoke from off thy neck. So once again, just like the yoke was broken, okay, from the hand of the Egyptians, the yoke is going to be broken from Esau, Edom, okay, the so-called white man. Okay, because the Lord is the same power that brought us up out of the land of Egypt, Okay, now he's going to bring us out of the land of Egypt again. Okay, now this is and this is what Esau is afraid of, his time, because he has his dominion. He has the dominion. He served the earth with the sword. Okay, he lived by the sword. He ruled by the sword. And this is what he has. He has the dominion. This is Jeremiah 16:14. It says, therefore, behold, the days come, saith the Lord, that it shall no more be said, the Lord liveth, that brought up the children of Israel out of the land of Egypt. Okay, going back to that deliverance. All right, written in Leviticus, the 26th chapter, when the Lord delivered us from being bondmen and bondwomen. Okay, ibad is the Hebrew word for bondmen. Okay, and I have broken the bands. Okay, this is when the Lord is going to break the bands of Esau, pursuant to Genesis the 27th chapter. It says, therefore, behold, the days come, saith the Lord, that it shall no more be said, the Lord liveth, that brought up the children of Israel out of the land of Egypt, but the Lord liveth, that brought up the children of Israel from the land of the north, and from all the lands whither he had driven them. So not only is the Lord going to bring us up out of North America, okay, the northern hemisphere, okay, he's going to bring us out of all the lands whither we were driven. So you have Israelites all over the four corners of the earth looking like those nations, but their seed goes back to the children of Israel. And how do we know? We know it by the Spirit, because those are going to be the ones that fulfill Jeremiah the 16th chapter and the 15th verse. Okay, it says, and from all the lands whither he had driven them, and I will bring them again into their land that I gave unto their fathers. Okay, so the Lord is going to give us basically these blessings, okay, that are received. Now let's go into the curses. Let's go into the other aspect. Let's go into the curses. Now, after you read Leviticus 26:15, which says, and if ye shall despise my statutes, or if your soul abhor my judgments, so that ye will not do all my commandments, but that ye break my covenant. And that's what we had. That's what happened to us. We broke the Lord's covenant. Okay, Deuteronomy 28:15. It says, but it shall come to pass, if thou wilt not hearken unto the voice of the Lord thy power, to observe to do all his commandments and his statutes which I command thee this day, that all these curses shall come upon thee and overtake thee. Okay, so we despise it. We despise the statutes. Okay, our soul abhorred the judgments, so that ye will not do all my commandments, but that ye break my covenant. So we broke the covenant of the Lord, so these curses came upon us. All right, now let's get into a few of these curses. Verse 16, it says, I also will do this unto you. I will even appoint over you terror, consumption, and the burning egg that shall consume the eyes and cause sorrow of heart, meaning sorrow of the mind. Okay, give me any plague but the plague of the mind. Remember? And that's part of the curses. A lot of our people have sorrow of heart. Okay, and ye shall sow your seed in vain, for your enemies shall eat it. And that's what happened. Ye shall sow your seed in vain. So everything that we've taken to basically grow, all right, the scriptures say we shall sow our seed in vain, because the enemy is going to eat it, meaning the enemy is going to capitalize off of our labor. Okay, because when you till a field, you're expecting the increase. So the increase that we expect in America, okay, in Babylon the Great, is just taken from our enemy. I mean, it's taken of our enemy. Okay, they get our increase. And I will set my face against you, and ye shall be slain before your enemies. They that hate you shall reign over you, and ye shall flee when none pursueth you. So this is how we know that Esau, Edom, the so-called white man, is our enemy, okay, and he hates us, okay, because of the scriptures. The scriptures in Deuteronomy 26:17 says, and I will set my face against you, and ye shall be slain before your enemies. Okay, the so-called white man, his police force, is killing you, basically, innocent or not innocent. With the scripture in Proverbs say, whosoever died being innocent. But the Lord is the one that's putting the spirit on them to basically fulfill this scripture. Ye shall be slain before your enemies. They that hate you shall reign over you. That proves that the so-called white man Esau Edom hates you, because the scripture says, they that hate you shall reign over you, and ye shall flee when none pursueth. Okay, let's go to another curse. It says, and your strength shall be spent in vain, for your land shall not yield her increase, neither shall the trees of the land yield their fruit. Okay, and that this took place, this happened to us in Israel, and spiritually it's happening to us over here. All right, and your strength shall be spent in vain. So all that you take to labor for is done for nothing. Okay, so basically, if you're not coming in the name of Yahweh B'Shem Yahushua with the works that the Lord requires, what you're bringing forth is vain. All right, for your land shall not yield her increase. So the stuff that you plant is not going to yield this increase. Okay. This is verse 25. It says, and I will bring a sword upon you that shall avenge the quarrel of my covenant. And when ye are gathered together within your cities, I will send the pestilence among you, and ye shall be delivered into the hand of the enemy. Okay, and this is what's going to come when martial law happened. This is what's going to take place when martial law comes. Okay, in your ghettos, in your cities, there's going to be pestilence and diseases. Okay, it says, and ye shall be delivered into the hand of the enemy. And a lot of you are going to go into concentration camps. A lot of you are going to voluntarily submit to Esau and take that microchip. All right, keep on bring out some more. It says, and I will destroy your high places and cut down your images and cast your carcasses upon the carcasses of your idols, and my soul shall abhor you. So a lot of times when the Most High took Israel down, a lot of them died, okay, right amongst them idols that they worship. Okay, all bowing down to the Queen of Heaven, Semiramis and Tammuz. Okay, they were sacrificing on the altar. A lot of them died upon the altar at the wrath of the Lord for doing wickedness. All right, and that's what's going to happen to you. A lot of you pastors that teach the name of the Lord in wickedness. All right, you're going to die among your idols, amongst what you believe. Okay, all your crosses and your idols, your crosses and your statues. You're going to die in the midst of that when the nuclear missiles come. Verse 31, it says, and I will make your cities waste and bring your sanctuaries unto desolation, and I will not smell the savor of your sweet odors. And I will bring the land into desolation, and your enemies shall dwell therein, shall be astonished at it. Yeah, because when you went down, the scriptures say in Lamentations, they hiss and they hag, as a matter of fact. Let's get it real quick. This is Lamentations 2:15. It says, all that pass by clap their hands at thee. They hiss and wag their head at the daughter of Jerusalem, saying, is this the city that men call the perfection of beauty, the joy of the whole earth? Yeah, because we were once a great people. All right, we still are a great people, but the Lord put these curses upon us. All right, but when we went down, it was an astonishment to the nations because we were considered the perfection of beauty, the joy of the whole earth. Remember, King Solomon was the most wise king in the history of the earth, man. All right, people marveled at his wisdom. So we will look likened unto the perfection of the earth. As a matter of fact, let's get Deuteronomy real quick. And we brothers bring this out too. This is Deuteronomy the 7th chapter. In the 6th verse, it says, for thou art an holy people unto the Lord thy power. The Lord thy power have chosen thee to be a special people unto himself, above all people that are upon the face of the earth. Okay, so the nation hissed and wagged their head at the Lord's people. He chose us to be special. Okay, but when we went down, look, they called the perfection of beauty the joy of the whole earth. All right, our enemies was like, damn. As a matter of fact, going back to this, and it says, and I will bring the land into desolation, and your enemies which dwell therein shall be astonished at it. And I will scatter you among the heathen, and will draw out a sword after you, and your land shall be desolate and your cities waste. So we were scattered among the heathen. All right, that's how we became Gentiles too. All right, because we took after the idols of these other nations. All right, you can read that in the book of the Maccabees. Leviticus 26:34 says, "Then shall the land enjoy her Sabbaths as long as it lieth desolate, and ye be in your enemy's land. Even then shall the land rest and enjoy her Sabbath." So we were in our enemy's land to this day. All right, and back during the time of the Babylonians, back during the time of the Assyrians, okay, we were taken out of the land. All right, we had to dwell in our enemy's land. As long as it lieth desolate, it shall rest, because it did not rest in your Sabbaths when he dwelt upon it. So meaning we didn't do right in the eyes of the Lord. So the Lord abhorred us and gave us over into the hands of the enemies. All right, let me see something real quick. This is Isaiah 47:6. It says, "I was wroth with my people, I polluted mine inheritance, and given them into thine hand. Thou didst show them no mercy. Upon the ancient hast thou very heavily laid thy yoke." And the Lord was wroth with his inheritance. All right, he polluted his inheritance. All right, and the people, the nation that he gave us into the hand of, they didn't show no mercy. And who was that? Esau, Edom. All right. Going back to Genesis the 27th chapter, which was a fulfillment of what Isaac said the blessing of Esau would be. "And by thy sword shalt thou live, and shalt serve thy brother." So when they served us, they showed no mercy. All right. "And it shall come to pass, when thou shalt have the dominion, that thou shalt break his yoke from off thy neck." So the Lord was wroth with us, but even though the Lord was wroth with us, he's going to break, all right, he's going to break their yoke from off of us. All right, so that now they was hissing and wagging, okay? They was opening up their mouth at Israel, but the Lord is gonna have mercy, man. He's gonna bless us. Lamentations 2:16, it says, "All thy enemies have opened their mouth against thee. They hiss and gnash the teeth. They say, we have swallowed her up. Certainly this is the day that we look for. We have found, we have seen it." All right, so they was waiting for the time that they could take us out of power. All right, that they have us worshiping after their other gods, have us be ashamed, okay, in the sight of the nations by serving these other gods. So that's why the Lord turned his back upon us. All right, and we were made a shame unto the other nations, and this is what they wanted. They wanted to swallow us up. All right, just like they want to have a complete utter genocide of Jacob. All right, it says, "We have swallowed her up. Certainly, this is the day that we look for. We have found, we have seen it. The Lord have done that which he have devised. He have fulfilled his word that he had commanded in the days of old. He have thrown down and have not pitied." So the Lord did this. All right, so this is why the Spirit had me bring out, brothers, don't forget Leviticus the 26th chapter, because the Lord have did this. All right, verse 37, it says, "And they shall fall one upon another, as it were before a sword, when none pursueth, and ye shall have no power to stand before your enemies." So basically, you that black on black crime, okay? You killing each other, old Nipsey Hussle, all right? "And they shall fall one upon another, as it were before a sword, when none pursueth." So basically, it's not the nations that's doing that, the Edomites. It's you doing it to yourself, all right? With the policy of Esau behind it, engineering it, of course. But you're the ones that's destroying each other. You so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans. But it's all pursuant to, going back to Lamentations, the Lord have done what he have devised. He have fulfilled his word. The Lord have done that which he have devised. He have fulfilled his word that he had commanded in the days of old. He have thrown down. Now, what are the days of old that it's talking about? It's talking about when the Lord gave the children of Israel through Moses, okay, the blessings and the curses. All right. Matter of fact, because Moses even said that Jake was going to fuck up. Let me see. Let me see. Behold, bear with me for a second. But Moses spoke of the it could be in Deuteronomy 32. Basically, but the Moses the words that Moses spoke to the children of Israel were fulfilled and carried out upon the children of Israel. All right, so that's why it says what it says in the book of Lamentations. Matter of fact, I'm gonna read this for now though. This is Deuteronomy 32 and 18. It says, "Of the rock that beget thee, thou art unmindful, and hast forgotten the power that formed thee." Yeah, you Israelites, you forgot the power that had formed you. Okay? And it says, "And when the Lord saw it, he abhorred them because of the provoking of his sons and of his daughters. And he said, I will hide my face from them. I will see what their end shall be. For they are very froward generation, children in whom is no faith." And that's why the Lord is going to destroy you. He's going the 2/3. He's going to see what their end is going to be. The majority of Israel is going to be destroyed, man. Okay. It says, "They have moved me to jealousy with that which is not God, the power. They have provoked me to anger with their vanities." Yeah, the Lord, you provoke the Lord with your vanities, going after your own way. All right, that's our people. "And I will move them to jealousy with those which are not a people. I will provoke them to anger with a foolish nation." Okay, and that goes into something in the New Testament, but I'm not going to get into it. It says, "For a fire is kindled into my anger, and shall burn unto the lowest hell, and shall consume the earth with her increase, and set on fire the foundations of the mountains. I will heap mischief upon them, and I will spin my arrows upon them. They shall be burnt with hunger, and devoured with burning heat, and with bitter destruction. I will also send the teeth of beasts upon them, with the poison of serpents of the dust. The sword is without, and the terror within, shall destroy both young man and the virgin, the suckling also with the man with the gray hairs." And that's what happened to us in our history, how we were cast about in the land. These curses came upon us. All right, the sword without and terror within shall destroy both young man. So in the time to come, too, it's going to happen again. All right, when martial law, the time of Jacob's trouble, okay, before that yoke is broken. All right, the young man and the virgin, okay, the young women, young men, all right, the suckling also, the babies, and the man with gray hairs, the old, they're going to die in America, okay, of our people. All right. I said I would scatter them into the corners. I would make the remembrance of them to cease from among men. And this happened. Okay. We're not being called Israelites in the society. Okay. We're not being called sons of Jacob. Okay. Judites, Ephraimites. Okay. Issacharites. People of Naphtali. Okay. Naphtali. All right, we're not being called that. Verse 27, it says, "Where it's not that I fear the wrath of the enemy, lest their adversaries should behave themselves strangely, and lest they should say, our hands is high, and the Lord have not done all this. Yeah, because it's the Most High that had these things done, okay, to us pursuant to the curses. That's why we flee from our enemies, okay? Because if it wasn't for, if the Heavenly Father was with us, we would chase 1,000 of our enemies, all right, and we would put them to flight. Now this is the last scripture. This is Baruch 4:6. It says, "Ye were sold to the nations, not for your destruction, but because ye moved the Most High to wrath, ye were delivered unto the enemies." Okay, so we were delivered unto the enemies and them that hate us. Okay, we proved that in Leviticus the 26th chapter. Okay, that we will be delivered to them that hate us, which is Esau, Edom. All right, we went into Genesis the 27th chapter. All right, and we proved the blessing, okay, of Esau, and how that he would serve his brother with the sword. Okay, and that took place during the time of slavery. Okay, Jim Crow, Reconstruction. All right, the time of the black codes in America. All right, and then we went into the bondage, okay, that we would be in, that we were under the Egyptians. We were in slavery as bondmen and bondwomen, okay, and that slavery is gonna be minuscule or small compared to that deliverance, okay, is gonna be compared lightly to the deliverance that's about to take place from the new Egypt, which is Babylon the Great, or America, okay, that the Bible speaks about. So I just brought out the, just wanted to, elaborate on Leviticus the 26th chapter. It's a good read, for brothers. And it was a brother in the camp that, put me on with this scripture, or brought it to my light, to my attention a while back. So when brothers go into Deuteronomy the 28th chapter, you can always make comparisons, or basically land back off of Deuteronomy, Leviticus the 26th chapter. All right, so with that, I want to give all praises to Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahushua, Ba'ashem Makakwadash. Double honesty, apostles and great millstone, and salutations to you brothers that's pushing the word in sincerity and truth. Shalom.